Hey, this is Mark at Woody Creative, making a video to show the hosting dashboard for WP Engine, and how you get in there to do things like clear the cache or create a backup or restore to a previous backup or copy from production to staging environment or staging to production. And production is the name of the live site. So if you are a user, you have access, and you would go to my.wpengine.com. I don't think you have to click sites, but if you click sites, it'll take you directly to whatever sites you have. So in this case, I think it's the Standish right here that we're talking about. So it'll show you the production and the staging environment. So you can click it again. Production is live. You can click either one of these, and you'll still have access to both. So we're looking at all the functionality for production. If I click staging, you'll see it goes to staging and it shows you all the functionality for staging, which is identical. We don't have a development environment because we don't need it, and it just takes up room on the server. So if you are in production and you want to if you want to create a copy of production and push it over to staging, you have to start in the staging environment. Okay, so you have to start in staging because you're going to copy from what? You're going to copy from production, and you don't ever really click the two, but what? You'll say, I'll copy from production, and it'll open this up and it'll say, what's the most recent backup point from production that you want to copy over to staging, and it's loading. A really important thing to remember is that if you just made a bunch of edits to production, it's only going to show the most recent backup point. So by default, the most recent backup point tends to be about 3 a.m., 5 a.m. That happens automatically. There'll be a 3 a.m. version of the production live site. If I select it as a backup point, I happen to actually do a backup 1 hour ago. Had I not done that, the most recent backup point would be this one, which was 6 hours ago. And then these are all daily backup points. But so if I pick this 1 hour ago, you'll include the database, yes, send notification, hit preview copy. It'll say, all right, here we're going to copy Standish found 2, which is the name of the production live site, to Standish stage. You would hit copy environment. It'll take a minute. And then production and staging will be identical. So, the important thing to remember is if I'm here, I'm going to go back, click Standish Foundation. If I'm going to copy production to staging, I have to make a backup point first, or it will only copy whatever the most recent backup was. So if you made a bunch of edits on the day that you're trying to make your backup, you better go in and make a backup point. So here's how you do that. Click backup points. By default, it'll say production. You can ignore this legacy staging. And you would say backup now. And what I usually do is use the convention of the year, the month, the day, 15, and then it's 12/15. I hit P, and I hit create production backup. And it'll create a backup. Give it a few minutes. Then when you're moving from production to staging, and here and doing the copy from, you'll be able to pick whatever that most recent backup is where you've made your edits. Okay. So another thing to know, if you made some edits in that morning, you didn't go into staging because you didn't want to, you didn't push it to staging, you just wanted to work in the production environment, but you screwed something up, you can always go back to, pick a time or a day and click it and hit restore, and it'll restore to whatever that last version is. Okay. A couple of the quick things under utilities. If you're seeing some things that aren't refreshing, you go under your pages or new content is refreshing, you go down here, hit clear cache. It might help to show you all the new content that you publish to the server. Okay, so just a little bit about how production staging works and how to copy between the two of them. You'll probably, once you made a ton of edits to production, obviously you'll need to push those into staging. Just be very aware of keeping those, realizing what the most current version is. Staging, I would think, generally is mostly going to be used when you have multiple pages or you have work that's going to take more than a couple of days, And if you push it over staging and are working in staging, clearly you can't make updates in production or they're going to get lost. Okay. So just some things to remember. Hope that's helpful.